So the temperatures have been pretty brutal. We expected it to cool down a bit last night, but it didn't really cool down that much. I was sleeping without any blankets on and it was still way too hot. So I didn't get much sleep, probably like 3 hours of sleep or something like that, which is just not enough for a rest day. And today, I mean, from 9 o'clock already, we're cooking. It's over 30 degrees. It's climbing up 34, 35 degrees, and we're thinking it's probably going to get over 40 today, which is just too hot to be doing anything in. So I think we're going to move camp spot to try and find a spot that's going to give us some afternoon shade. And then we're going to take a drive and look for those rock pools and see if we can have a swim and just cool off, because none of us want heat stroke. But yeah, chasing shade is the name of the game today, and hopefully we can find some.
This is the 6th day of our Southern Africa trip, and it's the first proper rest day on which we'll actually be able to chill a bit. This is also our last day in the dry part of Namibia, as we'd be heading northeast the following morning through Etosha en route to the Caprivi Strip. As far as dry environments go, it doesn't get much better than this, and we make the most of the early morning shade. Back at the camp, breakfast is being prepared, and a proper breakfast at that, on the skottel. The story about the skottel, as far as I know, is that it's a very South African thing. Originally, the people who settled in South Africa would take the disc from a plough and they'd put it over a fire and they'd cook their breakfast and stuff on the dish, and the heat would be centered towards the middle, and once they finished cooking stuff in the middle, they'd shift it to the outside to stay warm. So that's how we're doing our breakfast this morning. It's a good way to get large volumes of bacon and tomatoes, sausages, eggs, whatever done. And yeah, just a very South African way of cooking, and I think we're going to enjoy this one. Soon we have a visitor in the form of a ground squirrel foraging around for food.
This is finally happening.
And then another visitor, a hornbill. The first of many that we'd be seeing over the next week or so. Now, seeing these animals separately is one thing, but all together, very strange experience. It was a memorable breakfast, a filling breakfast, but with the sun starting to beat down, we decided to pack up camp and go exploring. The area surrounding Spitzkoppe has a number of trails weaving in and out of the rocks, and I happen to have saved an offline map for the area on Guide GPS, allowing me to plan a quick drive around. There were a number of smaller rock structures scattered around, which we explored a bit. Turns out this place is really popular for rock climbing, and it makes perfect sense. But the main goal, I guess, was to view the Groot Spitzkoppe from the northern side, where it appeared the steepest. So we made our way around the Potjie mountains, and after cruising through some sandy tracks along a very flat grassy plain, we found the view we were looking for, the pointy peak of Groot Spitzkoppe. We found a spot next to some rock faces that would give us some afternoon shade, and popped out the Eezi Batwing 270-degree awning to give us some respite from the sun while we set to work cooking lunch.
Yeah.
Isabel, do you want to tell me where you got this fort of yours?
Where was it? Marien's fort or something like that. Meringhausen, a little petrol station on the side of the road that sold us this prime fort. It's pink and green, red and green. It's giving some Christmas vibes, but we'll see if it lives up to world's best meat or not.
I can't even speak.
You can speak your own language if you want.
You can speak.
I can't even say anything. Wait, this is too hectic.
Uya Potjie.
No. Yaqaba. Adisonga. Yeah. Okay, I'm done.
So it looks like Namibia doesn't like to do things generic when it comes to wors. Most of the wors we found has had some interesting additives inside. The wors that Isabel bought is red and green. So there's something funny going on there. I don't know what's inside, but I think we'll soon find out. And the wors that I got was blue cheese and fig, which is actually something I've had before, and it's really, really good. A wors roll is probably not the best way to actually taste that and appreciate it, but we'll take what we get, I guess.
Even in the shade, the heat was miserable, and with the air-conditioned Bucky's being the most comfortable place of all, Nicole and I decided to head out and explore a little more. We found this really cool rock arch. Nicole insisted we take about 100 photos here, and then we stumbled upon a small pub in the middle of nowhere offering cold beers and cold showers. Now that sounds good to me.
So the big question the whole day has been what to do in the middle of the day when there's no shade from the mountains, and we found our solution in the form of this little bar over here. We've come here to get some cold drinks. We've gone to the showers across the road to get some nice cold showers and just cool off, and now we're sitting in an air-conditioned vehicle. So that's been the solution. Good stuff.
By the time we got back to camp, some shade had been cast and it was beginning to cool down a bit, so time to set up and to get the fire going. This was going to be a dinner to remember.
Well, a traditional South African meal has to be paired with a proper South African wine. This is a Hermanus Pietersfontein Postmeester from 2014. If you can pronounce it, then it means that you're probably South African. South Africa is known for its wine, so we'll add some of this in. Should add some flavor, and obviously it's too good to waste just on a stew, so we'll finish the rest of it tonight probably.
While we leave the pot to simmer, it's that time again. Time to find an elevated viewpoint and get comfortable for the most magnificent sunset. The potjie had now been simmering for a few hours and the meat was falling off the bone. The girls got to work cooking some rice and getting some bowls ready, and it wasn't long before dinner was ready to be served.
Okay, and let there be light. There you go. Just back after an incredible sunset, and the Potjie's been going for a good few hours now. I think we started like 3:30 and it's 7:20 now, so 4 hours. Let's go check it out. We'll get some lights on, we'll get some plates out, we'll maybe get some drinks out, and we'll sit around the fire and enjoy the cool of the evening and enjoy our hard toil that's gone into some incredible food.
Our first rest day ticked off the list, and it was a very memorable one. I may not have slept too well the night before, but on this night, the moment my head hit the pillow, I was out cold. Spitzkoppe, you are 1 in a million.